There is a quiet kind of exhaustion that creeps into our lives long before we notice it. It begins with a vibration, a flash, a subtle sound from the device we hold more often than our own breath. In the modern world, we wake up not to sunlight, but to notifications. We fall asleep not to silence, but to the blue glow of a screen that has learned to whisper our name better than any human voice. We tell ourselves we are informed, connected, engaged. Yet somewhere behind all this noise, a quieter truth waits. We are disappearing, bit by bit, scroll by scroll, swipe by swipe. Our attention, once a sacred, powerful thing, is now harvested like a crop, packaged into data, and sold to whoever can keep us staring the longest. We are living in a digital age designed to fracture us into smaller and smaller pieces. But the question is not whether technology is good or bad. The question is, what is all of this doing to our mind? And is there a way back to ourselves? The digital overload, a modern epidemic. There is a certain heaviness that comes from being always on, a subtle tension beneath the ribs, a restlessness that refuses to let the mind settle. The philosopher Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." If he lived today, he would watch us spending hours in digital corridors that lead nowhere and whisper almost gently, "I warned you." Because this modern world does something dangerous. It cuts our attention into fragments. A piece for Instagram, a piece for YouTube, a piece for the endless stream of unread messages, until eventually, there is no peace left for us. We confuse stimulation with meaning, connection with presence, information with wisdom. We feel anxious but don't know why. We feel lonely even while surrounded. We feel drained even after doing nothing. This is not an accident. It is a design. And yet, the solution is not to run away from the digital, not to throw the phone in the sea, not to disappear into a cabin in the woods. Because the real battle is not outside, it is within. The limits of just unplugging. We tried digital detoxes, deleting apps, turning notifications off, escaping for a weekend. But as soon as we return to normal life, the old cravings come back stronger. Why? Because you cannot detox from a device when the addiction is not in the device, but in the mind. Seneca again whispers, "Nowhere is the man who tried to escape himself." The issue is not the phone. It's the emptiness we fear feeling when the phone goes silent. The mind, untrained and restless, seeks stimulation as an escape from its own depth. So unplugging fails because unplugging is not enough. We need a philosophy capable of holding us steady in the storm of our own impulses. And that is where the Stoics enter, with a calmness that feels almost otherworldly. Ancient wisdom for a digital world. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion or becoming a cold statue of a human. It is the art of mastering yourself in a world determined to master you. The Stoics lived in noisy, chaotic cities. They saw political upheaval, social decay, and constant distraction. But through all of it, they learned one truth: control what you can, let go of what you cannot, and remain virtuous in the middle. This is a philosophy not of escape, but of clarity. In a digital age, clarity is rebellion, because where the algorithm tries to hijack your will, Stoicism quietly returns you to power. Where the feed tries to feed you emotions, Stoicism teaches you to choose them. Where the world says react, Stoicism asks, why? Stoic strategies for digital control. 1. The dichotomy of control in your phone. Epictetus taught, some things are up to us and some things are not. You cannot control the algorithm, the trending topics, the flood of information. the opinions of strangers, but you can control your attention, your intention, your habits, your daily digital rituals. Your phone does not control you. Your untrained impulses do, and impulses can be trained. 2. Amor fati and the anxiety of notifications. Every notification plays with your dopamine, triggering tiny waves of anticipation. Who messaged me? Who liked this? What did I miss? The Stoics would say, don't fight the anxiety, understand it. Don't fear the notification, accept it. Don't react, choose. Amor fati, love your fate, love the moment as it is, not as the algorithm shapes it. Freedom begins the second you stop reacting and start responding. 3. Memento mori and the value of time. Stoics gazed at death not to be morbid, but to be awakened. Memento mori, remember you will die. This is not depressing. It is liberating, because the moment you remember your time is finite, your scrolling becomes intentional. You begin to ask, is this how I want to spend the only life I have? The answer often changes everything. Building your digital citadel. The Stoics believe that every person must build an inner fortress, a citadel that no external force can conquer. In this year, that citadel is not built from stone, but from habits. Build boundaries, not walls, but doorways that open intentionally. Create tech-free zones, your morning, your meals, your night. Audit your notifications. If it doesn't add value, it steals value. Reclaim silence. The modern mind fears silence because silence reveals who we are. But that is exactly why you need it. The life that returns to you. When you take back your attention, something inside you begins to change. You think more clearly, you feel more deeply. Relationships become richer. Creativity awakens. Presence returns. You rediscover the version of yourself that existed before the world told you to be available 24/7. And slowly, the mind that once felt fragmented begins to become whole again. Final message. Freedom does not begin when you turn your phone off. Freedom begins the moment you reclaim the one thing the digital world wants most, your attention. Because attention is the essence of life. Whatever you give it to becomes your world. And Stoicism teaches you, gently, firmly, to choose your world with intention.